Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. I believe it is time to discuss XRP ledger validators. Is there bad faith on their part? Since there seems to be a lot of blaming going on in the world at the moment. That's why it's important to discuss. But before we get to that, let's take a moment to acknowledge the surreal nature of our times and the fact that former SEC Chairman Jay Clayton is right. The SEC needs to do the right thing here. They must greenlight a spot Bitcoin ETF and implement reasonable oversight of the crypto industry. When he was SEC chairman, none of those things were happening. It's even more boring than that, though. This video clip by Gary Gensler is examined. No, I won't be participating. I'd rather not subject you to his filthy voice, but if you're interested, you can find it on my Twitter. And here he is, when he was still at MIT before becoming SEC chairman, questioning Hester P. Peirce about whether or not then SEC Commissioner J. Clayton Roseman would permit a Bitcoin exchange-traded fund, ETF, trading in the spot market. The statement is illogical. Bitcoin exchange-traded funds are available. Ethereum futures contracts will soon be available. So, explain the distinction, please. It defies common sense. The crypto space wasn't as developed as it is now, and at least according to Jay Clayton, that's something you can claim. However, Gary argues that this is illogical several years earlier. There should absolutely be a Bitcoin ETF. Then he takes over the chair and continues his predecessor's practice of blocking it. What's the point when he just keeps being antagonistic towards cryptocurrencies and blocking them every time they come up? When Jay Clayton gets up from the chair, why does he change the story? When Gary Gensler takes control, he acts like Jay Clayton reincarnate, and that's because both men are puppets. Therein lies the truth. They just carry out the instructions of their puppet masters. In this case, Elizabeth Warren writes the questions, and Gary receives the responses. And if you don't believe she is giving them orders, consider that someone quite similar to her recently gave orders to Jay Clayton. Constant conflict with the SEC is to be expected. And, you're right, they are an issue. However, the root of the problem is at the political level. Also, we can't make any forward until we get rid of the old political guard who are blocking our way. These puppets at the SEC, for example, just take the flak and do as they're told without question. That's what you need to grasp. All this crypto funding terrorism is consistent with what we've seen before. Terrorists undoubtedly make use of monetary resources, as well as cell phones, the internet, encrypted communications, and other modern conveniences. We can't just argue that crypto has no practical application, though. However, terrorists benefit from its use because of how quickly and easily money can be transferred using it. Because it serves a purpose, it requires careful oversight. And we're disregarding it by sending cryptography research overseas, where we can't have a say in how it's used. You should learn to appreciate the technology upon which you are working. And having that knowledge can be quite helpful. And we'll be well on our way to a better planet and a better system as a result. There is no way to please everyone. It's either a worthless Ponzi scheme or an extremely flexible instrument that may be put to either good or evil purpose. Let's go in right now. I don't mean to single anyone out. I consider Mickey B. Fresh to be among the brightest of today's artists, and I agree with what he has to say here. A new system of leadership is required. Here's the thing, holding back rippled after witnessing this naive behavior from UNM, validators, and postponing the most critical, impacting modification that every XRP owner and project needs. This is how the procedure often unfolds. They probe deeply, investigate thoroughly, and check for security before moving forward. As AML regulations go, this one is rather significant. Extremely large. Therefore, extra time is required. As a result, even a very modest adjustment can take up to 6 months to travel through the system. When we've only been at this for, 50 hours, why would you assume that validators are operating dishonestly? If this is a broad change, it will take much longer. Indeed, this is a major one. They must be careful to do it properly. I'll add my voice to those who raise this issue. We are not preventing access to AMMs. One entity, not the many on a decentralized system, has been blocking smart contracts for the past decade. But there's one participant who doesn't trust the blockchain's smart contracts. Perhaps they're correct. That's the only thing that's been restricted. Disruption to MLMs is not happening. Just checking them out to make sure this amendment is okay to go. In the past, Ripple has released updates that were not ready and might have had disastrous effects. If you have ripples, that doesn't make you imperfect. There's logic to the current setup. I also want to bring this up. I hear you frogs saying, well, 6 million of these XYO tokens, or however you say, are going to Daniel, and those 6 million people are going to expect a DS. They are both validators that need to be eliminated. Look, the reason why smart contracts can't be executed on the Ripple network is due to the House of Fools sidechain. We don't want it on the XRP ledger, so David says, you know what? If you want to do it, Ripple saying, if you want to do this, if you think smart contracts are important, you take it and put it on your own side chain. We can't allow you to move forward with that plan. And we're trying to stop them. Someone is preventing others from moving. Nobody in the ecosystem cares about not having access to smart contracts. No programmer has any intention of preventing the use of smart contracts. This functionality is desired by all. It's being prevented by the single Ripple. And they're telling them to put smart contracts on a separate chain if they want them. They are, in fact, acting in this manner. You can't be furious at them if they're just following instructions. If they want to do this, they have to go around the ledger and create their own private network. Taking them off the UNL is a waste of space. We don't understand their terrible motives. They literally had no other choice. They are supposed to carry out those instructions. The one is preventing others from using the feature and urging them to do so on their own side chain if they desire it. This, however, does not imply that they are inherently harmful. That's literally their last resort, and they are being very compliant with orders. Not a horrible actor, this. To prove that the XRP ledger is capable of supporting smart contracts, they plan to develop this further. I can't say. That's why we have the option of testing it out on the sidechain first. And if it does, you guessed it, add it to the books. And so I think it's ludicrous to label as bad actors the folks who aren't actually preventing anything but are instead working to have an amendment ready. They are the ones who are most separated from the bad guys. One item was actually prevented from happening. I used hooks there. The ripple effect of blocking smart contracts has persisted for a decade, and because of this, no one has access to them. Avoid attacking small, independent software companies. It defies belief. Leave a comment and tell me what you think. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you later, bye.